Looking to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're on offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up to throw. And he finds Seals-Jones complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And here's Marshall. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
They'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll look to throw again. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction Make sure you got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Back out of Philly. Here we go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And this is caught at the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
Back to throw. Patrick. And Green with a catch left side. It's a big play there for Miami. 53 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Hassan Reddick able to run him down for a loss of a yard. After the sack here, 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Patrick into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now Marshall. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he pulls him over. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. here for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
On play action, they'll throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Ryan Anderson. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Detroit!
A big hitter to
Detroit!
start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He can't get him down. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The gun. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire one. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And that goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Second and goal from the 1. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw here is incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Throwing to start the drive. Patrick, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throwing on 3rd and long. Patrick, he's going to look deep down the field. They got his man, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So 1:55 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
On 1st and 10, Patrick. Over the middle, complete. That's come. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd down, Cook. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, Patrick finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Myers able to knock it through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now back to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. And he spikes it to stop the clock, and now if they choose, they'll have a chance at maybe a long field goal try here just before the break. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. The kick by Carlson is good. So we have reached halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Why we saw that field goal try a moment ago, I'll never understand, but as a result, this offense, they've got to be pumped. 1st and 10 in striking position already. Operating from the gun, Patrick. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
On 3rd down, Patrick flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere, forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be...
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Willie Henry. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that one results in 35 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 11. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cardinals will extend their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So now here come the Dolphins. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field.
This is intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Minka Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama. He'll look to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. They'll set up a throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. In for the score. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Clock showing 90 seconds to go in the 3rd. A give. This is Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Let's go! What? 90! What?
To throw on 3rd down. Patrick, he's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Pretty move. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
This is Marshall. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Back now in Miami. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 31 yards there and a first down.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Screen play, Johnson. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Christian Kirk, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 33. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep him cranking high right here.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So out comes the field goal team once more. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Carlson able to put this one through. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out come the Dolphins now. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Cook, and he'll get this one up to the 26. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Come on!
They run it again with Cook. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
And this will be taken at the 13. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19. Hot. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Hot.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Looking to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
59, Mike to 59. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
And they will take a knee here. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hey, we got 4.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.